On May 17, shocking news came out of Beijing. Beijing police declared that they will investigate a stand-up comedian. It seems that the stand-up comedian will not only lose his job, but also his freedom. It is beyond many people's imagination that a comedy could lead to such serious consequences. The stand-up comedian who got into the big trouble because of a comedy is named Lee House. In a recent show, he said he had adopted 2 stray dogs in Shanghai. But strictly speaking, they are wild dogs, because they were picked up from the mountains near where he lived. The first time I saw the dogs, I felt that I was not looking at 2 dogs, but the filming scene of Animal World. 2 dogs chasing a squirrel, launched like a cannonball. You normally see some dogs that look so cute your heart will melt. When I saw these 2 dogs, however, such big words flashed in my head. Excellent work style, ability to win battles. The comedian's remark was followed by laughter and applause from the audience. Excellent work style and ability to win battles was put forward by Xi Jinping when he met the PLA delegation at the National People's Congress in March 2013. If it happened in a normal country, not many people would remember this comedy. However, this happened in China, at a time when the social atmosphere is seriously poisoned. One guy, with his extraordinarily sensitive nose, smelled something abnormal in it. He took to Weibo and accused that the comedy caused him discomfort. He considered that the comedian was playing with fire, and that this nasty comedy insulted the People's Army. After that, condemnation and scolding surged online. The praising dog incident began to heat up rapidly. The comedian's contracted company at once announced that Lee House had inappropriate metaphors and caused controversy. They expressed sincere apologies and stopped Lee House's performance indefinitely. Lee House himself also hurriedly made an apology, saying that he felt deeply guilty and regretted, and would take the responsibility, stop all shows, and reflect deeply. Apparently, Xiaoguo Company and Lee House hoped to avoid penalty through their sincere apology. However, the situation turned very serious. On the afternoon of the day the praising dog incident was reported, the media public account of PLA Daily issued an article entitled Nasty Comedy, Immoral Indulgence, Vulgar Entertainment, and Endless Desire Do More Harm Than Good to Art. As a response to the stand-up comedian's praising dog incident, the article defined it as a nasty comedy. A few hours later, the media public account of the Western Theatre Command Ground Force issued a strongly worded article. The author says that he truly feels provoked, insulted, and outrageous to see such foolish and shameless remarks. Ability to win battles and excellent work style is the great spirit and noble character formed by countless revolutionary martyrs through the struggle of blood and fire, and is the distinctive mark of the People's Army, and is universally embraced by the people, and belongs exclusively to the People's Army. The author concludes by saying that the apology is too glib, not enough to quell the anger in his heart. At most, Lee House wanted to praise his dog. He definitely did not dare to insult the PLA. However, the special brand was reserved for the Imperial Guards, while he gave it to his dog. Both the Imperial Guards and the Emperor would feel offended. The Imperial Army stood up not only for its own dignity, but also for the dignity of the Emperor. The Emperor and his guards are completely one body, depending on each other. It is worth mentioning that, when Xi Jinping once again became the chairman of the Military Commission in March, the PLA Daily revealed the happy news that the 14th National People's Congress elected Xi Jinping as the chairman of the state's Central Military Commission, saying that the officers and soldiers of the entire army firmly stated that they would obey President Xi's command, be responsible to President Xi, let President Xi rest assured. The article writes, obey the party's command, able to win battles, excellent work style, obey President Xi's command, responsible to President Xi, let President Xi rest assured, loyal to the CPC Corps, support the CPC Corps, follow the CPC Corps, defend the CPC Corps. Such resounding oath echoes in all military camps across our country. That expresses the entire Army's loyal support to the CPC Corps, the people's leader, and the Army's Commander-in-Chief. It shows the firm consciousness to stand up for the CPC Corps and to obey his command. So, the primary duty of the PLA is to be responsible to President Xi and let him rest assured. When Xi Jinping's special brand for the CPC Army is attached to wild dogs, it undoubtedly offended both Xi Jinping and his army. In order to defend Xi Jinping, the military cannot wait to get involved. Their frantic shouting must be a demonstration of their allegiance to Xi Jinping. But more important, they are taking the opportunity to intervene openly in civilian life, to strengthen deterrence against society. Such a phenomenon was rare before. Apparently, Xiaoguo Company and Li House underestimated the severity of it. The relevant administrative and legal institutes in Beijing pronounced that they would investigate and impose penalty accordingly, and they had opened a case against Xiaoguo Company. The situation suddenly exacerbated the day after the incident was reported, when the People's Daily commented, "It says that talk show and comedy must obey the rules and be moderate." Comedy without bottom line may lead people astray. One's heart must be filled with awe, and words and deeds must be restricted. This should be a professional consensus as well as the professional bottom line. Only good moral leads to good words and deeds. Xinhua News Agency is even more severe and threatening. It says that everyone must be in awe of PLA, which defends our country. Obedience to the party, ability to win battles, excellent work style, every word is sacrosanct. Global People also publishes an article saying that Li House makes use of PLA to attract audience. It is not enough just to get him off the stage. Some people make fun of the People's Army in order to attract attention and audience. It hurts the feelings of the people and it violates the state law. We absolutely will not allow anyone to black smear Chinese soldiers. These acts will be duly punished. The Ministry of Veterans Affairs has also issued an article saying that the populace does not allow offense to the People's Army. Obedience to the party, ability to win battles, excellent work style, these words are extremely important and significant. Every single word is inviolable. Apparently Li House did not have a sense of awe and committed the crime of impiety. It is worth mentioning that the very day was the 16th of May, the symbolic day when the Cultural Revolution began. The authorities' statements really make many people feel chilling. In addition to the official media, self-media also add fuel to the fire. An online article titled, "A Movie Tells You Why Xiaoguo and Li House Must Be Severely Punished." It refers to a Chinese movie about Korean War, in which some Chinese volunteer soldiers chased a squirrel. It thus leads to the conclusion that Li House's remarks are intentional. It is not enough simply to stop his show. He deserves severe punishment. We do not know whether there is a conspiracy behind the incident, but the whistle-blowing and the act of adding insult to injury permeate the whole society. These are strong evidences that social atmosphere has seriously deteriorated under the Xi Jinping administration. China is rapidly moving toward ignorance and barbarism. Almost nothing is left of the reflection and awakening that once emerged after the Cultural Revolution. This is undoubtedly an evil effect of Xi Jinping's rule. The storm of public opinion was accompanied by thunderous action by the relevant authorities. Just one day later, the law enforcement agency issued a warning to Xiaoguo Company and Li House to confiscate 1.32 million yuan and to fine 13.35 million yuan. For the Xi Jinping era, this is a permanent monument. Xiaoguo Company hastened to express their willingness to accept the punishment, to draw a good lesson, to cleanse their hearts, and to detoxify their bones. However, these punishments were only a drizzle, and more severe punishments followed. That evening, the Beijing police issued a notice that a case has been opened against Li House. The proletariat dictatorship has finally dealt the comedian a heavy blow. At this, we may feel dislocated in time and space. So far, Not only is the propaganda system involved, but also the public security system, the Beijing municipality, and the military in particular. It thus can be inferred that the mastermind behind this should be Xi Jinping. It is apparently a case of making a big fuss over a minor issue and taking advantage of the problem. The authorities are making an example by imposing severe penalties on a comedian in order to stop the widespread mockery of Xi Jinping, with a view to reinforcing Xi Jinping's cult of personality and maintaining his power. They would never allow anyone to offend Xi Jinping in any way. Everyone must be respectful of Xi Jinping. In fact, it is perceivable that the social atmosphere has been severely poisoned and the political situation is becoming harsher. The situation is becoming more and more similar to that during the Cultural Revolution. When a comedy leads to such serious consequences, it seems to go beyond the scope of general speech control and social control. Therefore, it is possible that the authorities take the opportunity to sanctify the military, to establish PLA authority, to involve the army extensively in society, and to prepare for war and military control in psychology and public opinion. Once military control is imposed, it is absolutely forbidden to question the authority of the army. Military control was once imposed during the Cultural Revolution, but at that time there was no large-scale war, much less a long war. The situation in the future seems much more severe than that of the Cultural Revolution. The whole country may enter a state of war, or even a long war. It is particularly serious that China's economy faces collapse, and various domestic conflicts will be extraordinarily acute. To cope with the situation at home and abroad, and especially to strengthen his control over society and various resources, Xi Jinping may impose military control or wartime control throughout the country. The people must accept all oppressions unconditionally, and any words or actions that might offend the ruling group will lead to severe punishment. Strengthening Xi's personal authority and sanctifying the army are two things that go hand in hand, for Xi's personal authority rests on his control of the army. The army is the foundation of Xi Jinping's power. He is strengthening his authority by sanctifying the army. Xi Jinping's cult of personality is also closely related to his preparations for war. In the late 1960s, the Soviet-dominated Warsaw Pact Army invaded Czechoslovakia. The CPC called the Soviet Union socialist imperialism. Today, the CPC, under the leadership of Xi Jinping, is heading to socialist militarism. Apparently, Xi Jinping is pushing China into an increasingly dangerous situation.